Hi, welcome to Library Connection. I'm Mandi Cantrell from the B.B. Comer Memorial Library here in Sylacauga. Before I get started, I want to thank TV47, Chris, Robert, and everyone who makes it possible for us to put on this program. I'm excited today. One of our performers is joining us. You know, we're in the middle of our summer reading program. Lots of performers and reading club, all kinds of things going on at the library. And Barry Mitchell has come from Tennessee. He's going to be our performer today. Thank you for coming early for TV.
Oh yeah, I'm very excited to be here.
Good.
And correct, all the way from Tennessee.
Yeah.
They may not understand me because I know we're in Alabama, so I will talk a little slower.
Please do, that's what we need. Yeah. Well, we've had Barry several times, and he's always a big hit. I enjoy your show with your puppets and everything. We're going to talk about that. But tell me just a little bit about yourself, where you're from, things like that.
Okay. Well, I'm from Tennessee. I live in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, actually Sevierville, but we say Pigeon Forge so we'll feel a little more highfalutin. Grew up in Sweetwater, Tennessee, which is the home of the Lost Sea. The Lost Sea is an underground cave with the world's largest underground water source. I'm not sure how they call it, what they call it, but it's the water table for the area. And you know, you're telling me that the marble here is you and one place in Italy are the purest, correct?
Yes, whitest, yes.
Yeah, okay. And so the water at the Lost Sea is some of the purest on Earth. So it's really kind of neat. So that's kind of the connection. Has nothing to do with me other than at one point I was a magician, the only magician at the Lost Sea.
Oh, good.
So that's an interesting story, but we don't have to go there.
Okay.
Live in Pigeon Forge because I was in the shows in Pigeon Forge and I like it, stayed there. Made a lot of sense just to enjoy the area, and I get to do this, meet nice people, perform. Very blessed.
Well, it's a very nice place to live. I've been to Sevierville and Pigeon Forge, and but you do a lot of traveling, I know, with your programs.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you've come all the way to us. That's great. Your program this summer is Deep Sea Circus of Magic and Puppets. There it is. Make a splash this summer. All right. Who are those two guys with you there?
That is Sam the Turtle and Hyena the Laughing Chicken. Sam is the star of the show. Everything that we do in marketing is to market that it's Sam the Turtle show. Hyena is basically his nemesis. He would love for Hyena to be out of the show. And Hyena does not talk. He only laughs. He is officially a laughing chicken. Laughing chickens are from Indonesia.
So there really is a laughing chicken.
It is a real thing.
I didn't know that. That's funny.
I didn't either. That was the beauty of it, because this is a side story, but the reason the laughing chicken only laughs is because I had one voice for the turtle. I really couldn't figure out how I could have a separate voice.
Yeah.
So I said, well, you know, I can. I can do that. And so the chicken will laugh. And we were driving to a show. I was with my wife, and I said, just search and see if there's such a thing as a laughing chicken. Mainly search and see if laughingchicken.com is available. That's what we were. That's what we were looking for. And sure enough, they're in Indonesia. It's a chicken that they hold dear because when it cackles, it sounds like a laugh. And I go, gosh, we got it.
That's great.
So, you know, it's those unexpected finds that make it really interesting.
How fun.
And he says one word. He only has one word that he's learned how to say, because he doesn't speak English. I'll translate for him. But he has learned the word cornbread.
Okay. That's right.
And, and so he says that. And so by the end of the show, the kids are going to remember the turtle, and they will probably be walking out saying cornbread.
That's true. I can vouch for that. That's happened at our program. But I know we've had you before, but it's never the same program. It's always a different one, isn't it, for every summer?
Different each year, but based on the theme that many of the libraries across the country do. So with the ocean theme, it just seemed fun to have Deep Sea Circus, because circus has a variety of acts. So this way we just plug in different acts, which are, you know, magic tricks, but with a character behind it, and becomes a circus, so it's a lot of fun.
A lot of comedy. I can vouch for that. I've laughed very hard at your programs. They are so much fun, though.
Well, thank you.
Well, tell me how you got started doing this, or how you got involved with magic. You said when you were a little boy, right?
Yeah. 9 years old, and I usually give credit to my uncle, because my uncle would bring puzzles. When he lived in Marietta, Georgia, and he would bring puzzle or mind teasers,
Yes.
and he would show me that, and I got interested in it, and so then it was a matter of finding books on magic tricks, and so I like to give him credit for that, but not publicly. So please edit out that part. We do not want Uncle Bob to know that he's the reason I do this.
Oh, no.
So it really started with that, and because I didn't live in an area where there were magic shops, there was nowhere I could go to get magic. So I had to create my own. The one thing I could do, I was in scouting, and the Boys Life magazine in the back always had ads for different things, and they would always have an ad for magic shops, across the country, and mail order and everything. So I could get a quarter or a dollar, whatever it costs to get a mail order catalog sent to me. Wow. And all the catalogs were exactly the same. They all had, a small paragraph of what the trick does and a line drawing of what it looks like.
Okay.
So it's a line drawing. You don't really know what it is. Didn't have the money to buy it, so I would read the ad copy over and over, look at the picture to try to figure out how that could be accomplished. And since I didn't have any magicians or any friends that did magic, I would just come up with a method. And in some cases, when I got older and I would see the tricks or buy them or whatever, I would go, ooh, I got it right. Or, ooh, I created a different method.
A different one.
So that basically established the career. So everything was based on forced creativity. And I'm a big believer that everything in our life is a problem to solve.
Yes.
So how we solve it really is contingent upon the amount of creativity we put into it. Some people do more than others.
Sure, yes.
But really it's about how bad you need to solve that problem.
That's true. That
so,
will force us to come up with something.
Yeah, and so the beauty of that was, and I hope I'm answering this question.
Yes.
I chase rabbits, and
It's okay.
So the beauty of that is that the process to learn how to be creative really forced me to create the tricks. And then I started selling the tricks to all those magic shops that I was getting their catalogs.
Oh, goodness, yeah.
And that just created a whole evolution of everything that I do. So the core of who I am today all started when I was 9 years old, reading books and then developing my own tricks. So.
Wow, that's exciting.
Yeah.
We're going to talk some more about that when we come back from our commercial break. I hope you'll join us.
Activity Center offers the senior citizens in the Sylacauga and surrounding areas lots of fantastic activities throughout the week. Sewing, ladies bridge, quilting, game-o-rama, ceramic classes, bingo, travel club, and lots more. It's all at the Maxie Veazey Senior Adult Activity Center located next to the J. Craig Smith Community Center in Sylacauga. Don't spend any more time alone. Get out, make new friends, and have fun.
Sylacauga's best kept secret? No more. Harvey's on Noble is the place to go for the area's best food and drinks. Whether you're in the mood for steak, burgers, salads, seafood, or dessert, Harvey's on Noble will not disappoint, and the atmosphere is perfect for catching the big game or just relaxing after work. Harvey's is open for dinner Wednesday through Saturdays, so round up the family and we'll see you at Harvey's on Noble, downtown Sylacauga.
Great. What am I going to do now?
Time to visit Brown's Auto Collision.
No problem at all. We've contacted your insurance company and we can get you back into original condition right away. And I just want to remind you that all of our work is covered by a lifetime warranty. We're done.
Wow, that was easy and looks great.
Brown's Auto Collision.
Where quality is no accident.
Welcome back to Library Connection. I'm talking with Barry Mitchell. He's our performer today at the library as part of our summer reading program. He is a magician, comedian, puppeteer, inventor, you name it, a lot of different things.
You pretty much named all of them.
Okay.
Yeah, you covered it right there.
We were talking about how you started when you were 9, just inventing magic tricks. I never thought about, I've watched magicians all my life. I never thought that I never thought about somebody had to actually invent that. And then you can sell that to other performers. That's great. Yeah. Is that hard to do? I
don't know that it's I don't know that it's hard to do. I'm here and I looked at all the sculptures in the library, and so from my perspective, it's pretty hard to do. Yeah. But from their perspective, it's their passion.
That's true.
So it just flows out of their hands. So for me, in the same way, it's my passion to create tricks, but not really to create tricks, to create moments. So at this point, I mainly create tricks for children's entertainers.
Right.
So it's all about how can we create a moment in the show where those children are either laughing or being inspired or learning a message. Because the tricks, as children's entertainers, family entertainers, they're probably going to be either doing school and library or church programs or motivational programs. So I'm going for that market. It's like anything else. If you understand the basic group of guidelines of all magic fits into these building blocks, it's just a matter of plugging in what's the different story or the different item to fit in one of those building blocks.
Now, you've been doing this for several years, I know, since you were little. I know, that's exciting. And I know we were talking earlier, some of your friends that maybe buy products from your magic tricks also are coming to see us. How do y'all keep from doing the same tricks? Or maybe you do with a little variation, maybe.
Yeah, Tommy Johns is a good friend of mine, and he usually comes to your library. Gene Cordova, Lee Andrews, and it just so happens that all 3 of those guys are in a brainstorm team. So there are about 9 of us in a brainstorm team of folks from around the United States. So one, we can work with each other and have ideas. So like if Tommy has an idea, he might share it with me, and then I might turn that into a trick. Gene is brilliantly funny at puppets, and so when I have the core of my script, I send that to him, or we get together and he just rattles off lines. So the show that I'll do today, some of the content of the script between me and Sam is just written strictly by Gene. You know, it's just, we were sitting at a restaurant at a convention in Georgia, and he started, and I said, wait, let me get the camera, and I just recorded him, and he just started blah, 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 blah. I go, wow. You know, so we work together.
That's
you know.
great.
As far as the performers doing the tricks, it doesn't matter. Kids, you know, a kid will watch the same cartoon over and over and over. So to the buyer, they're like, okay, that guy did the same trick as the other guy, but to the kid, that's entertainment.
It's, oh, I love this trick, you know, or something like that is what they might say.
And so that's still fun. They don't just love it. They love the fact that they are an insider. Yes. They know it.
We know.
So either way, none of it matters except what happens in their mind. Right. It's all for them. I'm lucky I get paid for it and I have a passion for it. But if it does not connect with a child, I'm doing it wrong.
Right. And I know you say you're a children's entertainer and a family entertainer. I enjoy your programs as much as the kids, I think. And our teens that help out have said the same thing. Oh, I love the programs, Miss Mandi. So it's for all ages.
Well, you know, I admit it's written for children, but we're speaking to children as if they are adults.
Oh.
So some of the lines are really written for adults, or they're going over the head of the children.
Right.
And so it goes straight to the adults. A few weeks ago, there's a line in one of the routines about a hairball, and it was just a line that I wrote. I didn't really think about it, and a lady comes up and she says, I so appreciate you writing the show for adults. And when you said that hairball line, I about fell off my chair. And I thought, gosh, it's not really that funny. And 2 or 3 days later, in the middle of the show, I said the line and I realized why she found it funny. So it was funny at a different level than I ever wrote it. So yes, it's written for children, but I speak it in a language that the adults, when I say to the kids, you guys are getting on my nerves, adults know exactly.
Yes.
They've said that before.
Yes. Oh, yes, that's true.
So I'm glad you enjoy it,
I do.
as well as your staff. Thank you.
We do. Now, you don't only perform for libraries, you do schools and churches, is that correct? What type programs do you do there?
Well, for school shows, we're shooting for educational content. We have to fit in with what they, years ago, probably 20 or 30 years ago, I could call a school and say, my show this year is on history.
Okay.
And they go, oh, okay, that'd be fine. And so it didn't really matter. But the world has changed, and now I need to have content that they want. So a message that schools might want, because bullying is so prevalent.
Right.
If I have an anti-bully show, there's a chance that I'm going to sell that show.
Okay.
So really, it needs to be content driven, but content that they want. And then church shows, some churches are going to want a gospel message at the end. So it depends on what church they go to as to whether or not they want a fun show or a fun show with a gospel message. Yeah. And so really, you just look at your client and you say, what do you want, and how can I provide that?
Okay. How far do you travel, or it varies? I'm sure.
Travel around the world. I don't do as much world travel as I used to. I am booked in England again in May. And I'm so excited. I love to travel and meet new people and the cultures. I don't think you can fully appreciate where we live until you appreciate other people. And it's amazing how less judgmental I am in life, because I see someone else's opinion or their lifestyle or their culture. So it's really been great for me. So I am so excited about going back to England in May to lecture over there.
So do you perform there, or do you speak there?
Yeah, well, I'll be performing and speaking, because what I'm speaking about is the tricks that I invent, and then the methods or techniques. Like there'll be a few things in the show today that are techniques. They're not really tricks, but they're techniques to control the children. And so for some performers, they've never heard the ideas that I'm sharing, because they go, oh boy, if I apply that into my show, it'll make my show better.
Yes.
So you'll see today the pickle. The pickle will keep appearing, and I call that a foe. And it's basically the fight between the protagonist and the antagonist. And so those are techniques to make the show more of a play.
That helps every performer, I'm sure.
Well, hopefully,
techniques,
depends on if they like my style.
Oh, I bet they do. Well, we're going to pause for another commercial break, and we'll be right back and talk some more with Barry Mitchell.
The Maxie Veazey Senior Adult Activity Center offers the senior citizens in the Sylacauga and surrounding areas lots of fantastic activities throughout the week. Sewing, ladies bridge, quilting, game-o-rama, ceramic classes, bingo, travel club, and lots more. It's all at the Maxie Veazey Senior Adult Activity Center, located next to the J. Craig Smith Community Center in Sylacauga. Don't spend any more time alone. Get out, make new friends, and have fun.
Sylacauga's best kept secret? No more. Harvey's on Noble is the place to go for the area's best food and drinks. Whether you're in the mood for steak, burgers, salad, seafood, or dessert, Harvey's on Noble will not disappoint, and the atmosphere is perfect for catching the big game or just relaxing after work. Harvey's is open for dinner Wednesday through Saturdays, so round up the family and we'll see you at Harvey's on Noble, downtown Sylacauga.
Great. What am I going to do now?
Time to visit Brown's Auto Collision.
No problem at all. We've contacted your insurance company, and we can get you back in original condition right away. And I just want to remind you that all of our work is covered by a lifetime warranty. We're done.
Wow, that was easy and looks great.
Brown's Auto Collision,
where quality is no accident.
Welcome back to Library Connection. I'm talking with Barry Mitchell. He's our performer today at the library. Puppets, magic, comedy, you name it. Now I hear you speak overseas and everything. You're a very I guess a jack of all trades, maybe? You do a little bit of everything or a lot of everything?
Yeah, the end of that phrase is a master of none.
Oh, no, I won't.
Yeah.
I don't mean that.
I know you didn't, but I enjoy saying it.
Oh, no,
yes,
you're very good.
what I am is extremely blessed because I get to do all this, because I grew up on a farm. We raised tobacco and sweet potatoes, and it's not me. Okay. And I was able to, some people do that and love it,
Right.
and I think, and good for us.
Yes.
It was not something I loved, so this was my way out.
I can tell you love it, though, from watching you.
Yes, I'm very blessed. I like to say that I've seen koalas and kangaroos in Australia, elephants and lions on a safari in Africa, had Wiener Schnitzel in Germany, got lost on a train in Denmark, had a very expensive night in South Korea, made it through customs in Canada, swam with dolphins in the Caribbean, performed at the Magic Castle in Hollywood, the Magic Circle in London. That's London, England, not London, Kentucky. Although I do perform in London, Kentucky every year. I'll be there in July. And in Mexico, I drink the water.
Oh, okay.
And all of that is because at 9 years old, I started reading books about magic.
Wow.
In every case, I have never paid to go anywhere. In every case, someone is paying me to come teach magic and show my tricks. So I don't know what you could say other than you're blessed.
All those places you've traveled. I was just about to ask you, where have you traveled? But you just named so many places. Has this been over several years? Or?
You read in my bio that I've been doing this over 3 decades.
Yes.
The reality is over 4 decades, but I look extremely young, so I didn't want to point out my age.
Right. You started very young.
Yeah, I started very young. Yeah, I've done this the majority of my life, and even though I've had to have other jobs, selling and different things like that, the reality is this is the only passion I've ever had. So I've actually been fired from jobs because they knew this was my only passion.
Oh, and that's what you needed to be doing.
At the time I was like, I can't believe that guy would fire me. But then later on I realized, the guy really needed to get rid of me.
Oh.
Because he could see that I did not want to be there. So I understand. It was good for me, good for him, and we moved forward from there.
Good. Wow. Well, I know you have enjoyed traveling, and you've met a lot of people. What about the language? Do you speak their language wherever you go, or translators, or is just international?
No.
I mean,
but people love to hear country, and if I'm in New York, the country comes out, and they just. I don't know if they think you're stupid, and so they enjoy. Anytime someone feels superior to you, they're like, meh, so they will listen.
Oh, that's true.
But so the country accent, and I will lay that on thicker, and they love that.
That's great.
And so no, I don't speak English. Everywhere I go, they will have a translator for me. The hardest part is because my scripts are so, my show is so script driven. Yes. There's so much spoken content that it is difficult for someone to, they can't. You cannot translate timing.
Oh, that's true. You're pretty fast paced, I would think.
Yeah,
too.
so I was in Denmark and I was doing a bit with a puppet, but I was just using a sock. I took my shoe off, I put a sock on, and I was talking about how that a puppet, you'll listen to a puppet that you won't listen to an adult. And I was doing that, and so the puppet says something, and they say something, says something. And so that pause, it's difficult to get the humor in that. But still, if they get something out of it, and when you see a guy come from America and take his shoe off and put a sock on his hand in the middle of the program, it's like, it's kind of odd, and maybe I'll pay attention to that.
You don't forget that.
I hope they don't, no.
That's great.
I enjoyed it, yeah.
Well, that's exciting. And that's and you've seen a lot of the country doing what you love, a lot of the world doing what you love.
Well, I've performed in almost all of the states, so I've got to do that. So, we'll go cross country on a tour and stuff like that. but I really enjoy going overseas.
That is fun. That's great. And I know you performed in at the Dixie Stampede. Is that correct? Dixie Stampede.
Yes, it is.
I've been to that. Yeah.
It was the Dixie Stampede. They changed the name to Dolly Parton's Stampede, so
Okay,
that's what it is now. But I was there. I started in '92, and I was there for 4 years, and then I went to. Where did I was the opening act for T.G. Shepherd. He's a country music star. Only folks older than us would know who that is.
That's right.
And then Jim Ed Brown and Helen Cornelius, which would be even older folks that would know them. Con Hunley was in that show as well.
Yeah.
And as part of the magic show, Terry Evans Wood, who's still in Pigeon Forge, we did the show together for his first year in town. And then and I filled in at Country Tonight and a few things like that. So it's been nice to live there.
That is nice. A wonderful place to visit, I know. Well, I have to tell you, I looked on your website, which, by the way, you can look on there and buy magic tricks.
BarryMitchellProducts.com is the website for magic, yes.
And that doesn't have to be a professional performer, does it? It can be anyone.
No, we have motivational speakers that buy some of our story-based tricks. Grandparents buy tricks to perform in Sunday school. All of my stuff is very driven for entertainment as opposed to a small thing that you would do. So the regular magic shops would have those, but mine is focused on a storyline and entertainment. Anybody can buy.
Good, good. I did read on your website too, Barry, Sam the Turtle, and Hyena the Laughing Chicken deliver the laughs, but we never miss the point of educational inspiration. Can you expound on that a little bit? Educational inspiration, that's it.
Well, the inspiration part of it is if it's an educational show, but a person's definition of education, one person is different from another.
Right.
So it is, I'm going to call it inspirational. Years ago, probably 25 years ago, I used a word called edutainment. So it's education and entertainment. But at that point in time, it didn't have to be that educational. So my belief is that you underpromise and overdeliver. So if we call it educationally inspirational and they find out, wow, it really is educational, there really was some meat within that show, then they're much more impressed.
Kids have learned it and had some fun.
Right, yeah, and the person that hired me got something out of it, because they're the ones that want it to be educational.
That is true. Well, we are almost out of time, but I'm looking forward to your show today, Deep Sea Circus of Magic and Puppets. I know it'll be great, as always. And thank you so much for coming early and joining me on Library Connection.
Truly enjoyed it. Thank you.
Good, and thank you for joining us.